Howdy ho, good neighbor. Today, we're going to have a little gratitude. That's right. Right here at this undisclosed location. Believe it or not, we should have gratitude for everything that we have in our sights and grasp. Water to be the most thing. I would say that water would be the most precious resource to these people besides plumbing. So today as we watch this video, I want you to be grateful for the water and plumbing in your house, if you're lucky to have a house. I know a lot of homeless people actually have YouTube and the internet and have watched these videos. They are just like you and me, believe it or not. They watch YouTube and have lives just like ours. Not all of them are drug addicts and not all of them are meth heads. Although I would say this to people who say, well, why don't they just get off of the drugs and alcohol and get a job? Well, if you live in these conditions, you will realize that you have to stay numb to society. Although there is a rare few that are sober, that go to work every day, that can still live in these conditions without drugs and alcohol. And I find that amazing. But back to being grateful. As you can see, there is no water or plumbing on these premises. Although up front at the sanctioned camp, they do have toilets up there, I seen. Or I saw, whatever the proper English is. But cars just roll on by, and with fuel prices at a all-time high and foreclosures climbing, you could see why it's in a lot of people's minds that they could end up at one of these sanctioned camps, living in a RV if they're lucky. These people have vans and cars and motorcycles, but the people who have RVs, they're the lucky ones. If you look real close, you can see that there are children's toys and other small children's belongings. So it's not just adults that live in these conditions. Believe it or not, we have children growing up this way. Yes, if you look deep into the bowels of this mess, you will see people in there. Like I said before, there is no trash service here. So that's why there's so much trash. Just imagine your trash not being picked up for 1 month. Okay, let's times that by 2 months, 6 months. How about how much trash do you make in a year? Well, all these people, this is their dump. I can only imagine this is the dump for the homeless people, and there's actually a trailer in there. So if you think you got it bad, you could be living in a dump. Literally. But I really cannot say enough about water and how important it is. And we will be moving out of this state. And it will be a mass exodus because it has stopped raining in California. There is no rain or water to be had. So it doesn't take much of a conspiracy theorist to say that something is going on with weather manipulation or climate change. You'd have to wonder what is happening here and how they get their water and where does their waste go. I know I can't stop thinking about human waste and where it goes. And I've actually seen with my own eyes people flushing their waste down the storm drains. In bags, by the way. So wherever the sewer goes, it's going untreated into the bay. Sad to say that it has to go somewhere, and there's where it goes, into the San Francisco Bay. But this has got to be the dirtiest of all the camps. That's why I kept coming back here, and not to mention that it's right across the street from a school. So I don't know which authorities of the city of Oakland has okayed this humongous homeless camp right across the street from a high school. Could be a middle school. But it's definitely not a preschool. But I'm sure the city of Oakland would like to clear that lot, just like the one in the background. But they've already talked about there's no place for these people to go, so where do you put them? Can you put them in a camp and treat them like prisoners of war? Or do we build mental facilities? How do we deal with the unhoused while we still build houses that no one can afford? These are questions that I keep asking myself that I just can't get the answer to. So with that, you know the drill. I just will fly over this last little camp. But as I do, I want to thank you for coming along with me on these, and I don't want you to judge the homeless, because we could all be there someday. And we all could be there with our dogs like these people, and our kids. But please not to think that way. Please be grateful for everything you have. And like I said, I always want to thank you again for coming along with me on these little adventures. You know the drill. Peace, love, and all that hippie jazz. Bye-bye, everybody, and stay grateful. There's a lot to be grateful for. Bye-bye.